Hey guys, welcome to Dateability Live. Trying to be every Friday. Please bring in your questions. I'm Jessica Santosa, founder of Dateability and your primary dating coach. And I'm actually really excited to bring you this really surprise live because I know that we've talked about the 4 super babes of dating. And for those of you who were at Unleash Your Freedom Women's Conference last year, we talked about the 4 styles of dating in terms of the archetypes for women. So for those of you who were there was the Bachelorette. Now she's the one who, hi Hillary, welcome. So she's the one who's the first one on the dance floor, the one buying you tequila shots. She's incredibly charismatic and gorgeous. So wherever she goes, she easily gets asked out because that's the sort of energy she puts out, and she knows how to plant and water the seeds all the connections that she creates with men. And then we have the Wonder Woman. You know, she's strong and independent, doesn't really need a man. And because she can be a little bit so much very business-like that she ends up sort of turning men away because, and then she'll say things like, I think men are intimidated by my success, when really she just needs to probably work on allowing men to be men in her presence. So needing to work on, say, complimenting a man for his big muscles. Not that she'd do that, but she might say, oh, you're such a guy, or can you please help me carry my handbag? Or can you please help me carry this or that? Because men love that. Men love helping women, and they love being strong for her. Then we've got the Catwoman. The Catwoman will say things like, I rarely ever had the opportunity to be single. Every time I meet a guy, he wants to be in a relationship with me almost straight away. So you know, the Catwoman, she tends to, it's a bit of a mix between being really good at making people feel comfortable, and at the same time, the Catwoman doesn't know how to be single because she hasn't really spent enough time being on her own and figuring out who she is. So when I coach Catwomen, it's a lot about setting boundaries, advocating for herself, standing up for herself, and establishing what it is she wants in a relationship. And then we have the Cinderella. Now the Cinderella is what I call the beauty in hiding. So when I coach Cinderellas might say, I always get friend zoned, or men always want to start a business with me. They don't really want to be my boyfriend. Men rarely see her as a sexual option. They see her as a friend, and they see her as someone who's like a sister to them, or very reliable and amazing, but just not particularly someone that they want to have a romantic or sexual relationship with. So that's a bit of a crash course on the super babes of dating. I've got a quiz coming out which you'll see very soon, and I'll let you guys know either on Insta story or in the feed about that. But I was really excited to talk about the 4 types of men that we meet in dating, and I'm about to release this blog at 5 p.m. today. And the reason I want to talk about this is because men have different pursuit styles. Yes, that's right. They have different pursuit styles. So they have different ways of different relationships with rejection and risk. Depending on how confident a man is, he will take more risk if he feels really confident with women, and how much he sort of relies on the woman to temper his self-esteem. I will explain more in a second. Okay, so the other thing is, once we understand these pursuit styles of men, we will be more patient with them in going, oh, okay, I get it, he's a farmer, that's why he's taking so long, or he's a sniper, and that's why he's asked out all these other girls in the past that I know, and now we've grown and evolved and developed as people, so much so that it's become apparent that we are growing closer together, not just in friendship, but also romantically. So different strategies of doing that as well. Okay, so let me just explain the 4 styles, the 4 pursuit styles of men, or I call the 4 types of men you'll meet in dating, and that'll be the blog post that I release at 5 p.m. today. Okay, so just really quickly, I'm just going to get some water. Give me one sec. Okay, I'm back. Did you see what the pillow said? All right, so if you dream big enough, anything can come true. How beautiful is that? Okay. All right. Hi, Grace. Welcome. Okay, so 4 types of men you'll meet in dating. All right. So the first one is, ready? The Bachelor. Okay, so famous Bachelor examples are people like Harvey Specter from Suits. Really handsome, suave, good looking, has this beautiful presence when he walks into a room. Every woman turns and looks at him. A lot of actors are bachelors. So the reason why we would hate The Bachelor is because we tend to think, as women, we tend to see him as the guy that every other girl has a crush on. And because every other girl has a crush on him, we don't want to be lumped into that group or category of girl that has another crush on The Bachelor, on this beautiful guy. So he's handsome, charming, naturally charismatic. Every girl has had either a public or private crush on him, however brief or extended. And he's the guy in our community. There's always at least one bachelor in every community, and he's the guy that is always surrounded by women, and he has the luxury of taking his sweet time because he knows that because of his good looks, he's naturally going to get the babes coming to him. So he might say things like, I don't go chasing the babes come chasing me. Or they might say, a Christian version of The Bachelor might say, I'm waiting on God for my wife. She'll come when I least expect it. Mainly because his mega attractiveness compensates for his lack of action. We've often said that he's our dream man, or he's the guy that I've always dreamed to be my husband, or whatever. And we'll say these things because he fits our archetype of like a Prince Charming or a perfect man, even before we might even really know him. So the good side of The Bachelor is he's an easily confident guy who really knows how to hold his own, has a strong center of gravity. He doesn't go to women to seek approval. This is the redeemed version of a bachelor. The Bachelor gone wrong is the guy who knows he's so good looking that he has all the babes coming to him, and because he has low self-esteem, he has sort of crutches on his good looks and his charisma to fill up his self-esteem tank. Do you get what I mean? Okay, so anything else I want to say about The Bachelor? Yeah, The Bachelor, he crutches on his good looks to have the women coming to him, and therefore feels like he doesn't really need to try. Okay, I think you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about The Bachelor. So he's like the jock or the big man on campus for those of you who are American. Yeah, okay, so Harvey Specter, prime example of a fictional bachelor in popular culture. Second type of man you'll meet in dating is the sniper. So the sniper, just as the name suggests, is the guy who is like he's also a good-looking guy himself. So sometimes bachelors can be snipers as well, but they're action-taking gentlemen. They have a healthy balance of both confidence in himself and initiative. Confidence and initiative, but mainly initiative. So snipers, they will meet a woman. Maybe he'll meet you at a party and you'll be talking for 20-30 minutes and you'll connect on some level, and he'll be like, let me grab your number, let's go catch up for coffee sometime. So a sniper wants to take action, and he'll say things like, if I don't take action, I might never see her again, or nothing happens until I make it happen, or I'm a man and men take initiative, or every time I get rejected by a woman, I am one step closer to my wife. So snipers are refreshing because they will either go for you or not go for you, and we can't categorize men all men in the sniper category, because not all men are snipers. They could be bachelors who know that they're good looking, so they just sort of leave the watered seed to grow, and they won't do anything about it. Whereas snipers, they will definitely do something about it. So it's very crystal clear about whether this guy is into you. Okay, how we might have responded to him in the past, we might say things like, well, he dated my best friend 4.5 years ago, so I could never go there, or I see him as a brother, or just because he takes action on a lot of other people. And then we might get offended because he's been our good friend for years and he hasn't noticed us. How come he hasn't asked us out? So or we might say, oh, he's just so refreshing. He just straight up asked me out. It was the easiest decision ever. Of course, I said yes. So the sniper is a guy that you can sort of, it's either black or white whether he's into you. Cool? Okay, that's a sniper. Fun fact, I'm engaged to a sniper. I'm a bachelorette myself, and I was refreshed by the fact that what I loved about the sniper was, my particular sniper, is that he didn't see the real kind of like, do I really like her, until I satiate my curiosity by asking her out and then actually getting to know her. And then once we get to know each other, that's when things become real. So I have the same mindset as well. Okay, now, and snipers gone wrong, they might conquest collect, so like another notch on your belt. So they like sort of asking a lot of women out and then seeing how many dates they can get. So that's a sniper gone wrong, because they're sort of approval seeking. Whereas a good sniper is the guy who says, I know I'm curious about her, I'm just going to ask her out for coffee and just see, and then they'll be very clear in their communication towards you. Cool? Okay, let's move on. Number 3, the farmer. So, because I started out as a Christian dating coach, and a lot of you ladies listening to this, ladies and gentlemen listening to this, do come from a church community or a faith-based community, or you have a relationship with Jesus, you will be very familiar with the farmer's ways. And now the farmer, notorious farmers in the media, are people like Noah Calhoun from The Notebook. I wrote you every day for a year. He waited for her for years and years and years. Now, farmers, what they do is they plant a seed of connection. So they get to know a number of women. They start lots of friendships within the church circles, and then they just sort of water the seed, and they see what happens to the seed. And they don't actually go in for the kill until they're absolutely sure that there is a reciprocal interest. So really redeemed farmers. So farmers who are they're quite serious about finding a wife. They will farm for ages. They'll plant the seed, they'll water it, they'll watch it grow for quite a while. And then they will pray and ask God whether it's the right time. And if they feel like it's the right time, then they will go in and they'll say, okay, I want to have this conversation with you. We clearly like each other. I do want something to happen between us. And then he'll progress the relationship. So what is really beautiful about farmers is that he'll say things like, friendship is the best foundation for any relationship or marriage, or I want to get to know her properly first before we go on a proper date. Yes, so farmers will want to observe you in community first, so they'll sort of friendship date you, and they will observe you and watch your character. And also in farming, the connection with you, or planting that seed and watering that seed, he'll then assess compatibility as well as character. Welcome, the guys have just come in, Chalet and Hood Marlow. Welcome. So the farmer. So people, we might hate the farmer because the farmer takes so bloody long to actually tell us that he's interested. But the comforting thing is that if he is the type of guy who is a farmer, and you're currently involved in a farming strategy from the guy's end, please be patient with him, because it's only a matter of time before he says something or he asks you out. He will give hints. Men know in their biology. I should have mentioned this right at the start. I'm so sorry. But right at the start, I should have mentioned men know that it is their job to pursue. Okay, so men know that it's in their biology to pursue. They know that it's their job to do that with you. And if they don't do that, it means they're not interested. So you either water the seed that he's planting with you, or and wait and see if he returns, if he also waters that seed. So for example, you might see him at a party, you might have a great conversation, and then and then you guys go to different churches, for example. Yeah. Thank you, Hudmala, for affirming what I'm saying. I'm glad you're feeling it. So you might meet each other at a party, you go to different churches, and then you might invite him to your church, and then he might say, I can't come, actually, I'm really busy. So take that on face value. He might actually just be really busy, but then I would leave it, because because you've just watered the seed, and then if he gives you nothing back and he doesn't water the seed back, then if you then water it again, he might go, okay, she's like initiating way too much here, and then he'll start to feel like why is she trying to be the man, like play the role of the man. So, and also you feel a bit stupid as well, because you know that it's your job to respond rather than to pursue. But it's good for you to be taking initiative as well, as long as it's appropriate and it's in response to him watering your seed. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So lots of Christian guys fall into this category of being farmers, but if you feel like he's doing nothing because he's too shy, you're probably mistaken, and I would sort of just leave it as it is. So farmers are very adverse to rejection. They're very sensitive to rejection, whereas snipers or bachelors are less sensitive to rejection. Yes, but they're still good men. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the fourth and final type of man you might meet in dating, and that is the sweetheart. So famous sweethearts, Tom from 100 Days of Summer, 500 Days of Summer, 100 Days of Summer, 200 Days of Summer. Okay, you guys can write that movie title in the, exactly. You can't rush people into believing something. Okay, so the sweetheart is a hopeless romantic who adores all women. They tend to place huge importance on finding the perfect soulmate, and it's usually because he has limited dating and romantic experiences, so he doesn't really know women. He tends to idolize them, maybe. He tends to worship women more than he worships Jesus, which is a bit of a worry. A good sweetheart is just a guy who is slowly trying to build his confidence and is very aware that he might be seeking approval from his success with women. So, but a sweetheart gone wrong is a guy who might see a beautiful girl and think, if I ever got her, a man needs to know how to respect a woman to a woman who can respect a man. Yeah, absolutely, Hood Marlowe. That's a really good point. So sweethearts, they tend to be quite approval seeking, and a good sweetheart knows that, I'm aware that I'm looking to this woman almost as a trophy, and that's not healthy. I need to see a woman as an equal, and a woman who is basically just my best friend and my life partner, who I also have this amazing sexual romantic friendship connection with, this emotional connection with, and if he sees her in that way, he sees her as an equal, and that's good. But if he sees her as a trophy, like an unattainable trophy, and if I got her, that means I'm a man, I'm a real man. Hi Lauren, welcome. And hi Dylan. I love that you're here, Dylan. Dylan and I have been Instagram friends for quite a long time, and I'm just really glad he's here. Okay, so sweethearts, they might be they might come across as a little bit desperate sometimes, and that's an unfortunate thing. When I coach sweetheart men, we go through a lot of literature about non-neediness. So really seeking self-esteem from the things in his life that he already has. So like his friendships, his career path, his purpose, his family, his communities, what is already going for him. And so that he's so stable in those networks of his life that when a woman comes in, he sees her as someone who joins with him and adds value to his life, because he's already somebody who's powerful in himself. So that's the sweetheart. Okay, so just to summarize again, so there's the bachelor. He's the Harvey Specter of the four. So it's gorgeous, successful, naturally charismatic. All the babes come to him, and might be a little bit lazy in pursuit because he knows he's good looking. And then there's a sniper, and the sniper is very refreshing because he's very black and white. He's like, I like you you, I don't like you, I'll go for you, and I'll not go for you. And a good sniper is the type of guy who, is curious and then will ask the girl on the date in order to get to know her better. And if he doesn't see a future, he'll just say so. So then there's the farmer, and the farmer is the guy who plants a lot of seeds, waters them, gets to know the girl over time in community, and might be annoying because it might seem like he's not doing something, but actually he is. But at the same time, farmers need to be careful that if he's farming and watering a seed for too long, she could actually be like be taken up by a sniper. So, and then there's a sweetheart, and the sweetheart is the hopeless romantic that is aware that he needs to not be approval seeking when it comes to acquiring a woman, and start seeing women as just equals that will add value to his life as people rather than trophies. Okay, I know I'm being a little bit controversial here. So the blog post with all these explanations and examples and pictures and even a quiz. The quiz isn't coming out yet, but the blog post will be coming out at 5 p.m. The 4 types of men you'll meet in dating. Let me know in my DMs which if you're a guy or if you're a girl involved with one of these 4 types of men. If you want to talk about it, just DM me, slide into my DMs. Cool, awesome. All right, so I will be back next week on Friday AEST, roughly 11 to 3 p.m. I do these lives, so please let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. I've got a bit of a long list, including like how do I know if she likes me, or how do I know if he likes me? Why do men pull away? Or I'm sick of waiting for men. What do I do? All that kind of stuff. Or why do I always get friend zoned? That's a big one in the dateability community. So, all right. Let me know what you think. All right, love you guys. Mwah. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye.